Everyone's talking about how expensive it is to feed a family these days. But what if I told you I fed 4 people for just 15 bucks with cheese? Because everything's better with cheese. Four different dinners, all cheesy, all delicious, all with sides, and all under $15 each. And all this is sponsored by our friends at Borden, who, by the way, have been doing cheese longer than you have been alive. We'll begin with cheesy chorizo sloppy joes and oven-baked potato wedges. Oh, what a great start. We'll start with the wedges because they take a little longer. We've got russet potatoes that I'm going to cut into big, beautiful, thick wedges. We'll toss them with a little oil, then some paprika, salt and pepper. These will put on a little baking sheet, throw them in a 425 oven for about an hour, flipping halfway. Now the joes. And yes, a chorizo sloppy joe would require chorizo. We talked about it before. There's pork, which this is. There's beef, there's soy, and this is pork. We're going with pork today. But the soy is a good option if you don't want to do meat. This is what you want in the pan for 4 or 5 minutes till it's cooked through. All right, it's onion time. Looks like that. Mix them in. Give it another 3 minutes. All right, I turned the heat down a bit. We add a couple things. One is a cup of tomato sauce, could be ketchup. Next, some Worcestershire. Recipes below. Of course. And some chili powder. Beautiful. All right, you want this on a nice little simmer for 5 minutes. But I have to confess something first. Remember the whole George Washington and I cannot tell a lie thing? Well, I'm like George Washington. I cannot tell a lie. I said a cup of tomato sauce or even ketchup if you want. This wasn't tomato sauce for those that are paying really close attention. I thought I had tomato sauce, fine. I punted. You know what I used? Tomato soup, a can of that. It's perfect. Well, I mean, why not? Listen, tomato products are tomato products. The chorizo has a ton of flavor. The chili powder has a ton of flavor. It's all going to be good. The point is, use what you got, ladies and gentlemen. I'd rather you make this with tomato soup than go, oh, I don't have tomato sauce, so I'm not going to make it. You're going to get to the same place. It's still going to be delicious. And don't forget, we have a crowning glory of Borden cheese coming up at the end that's going to melt down and make everything fine. Okay, we good? We understand each other? This is looking and smelling amazing. I'm gonna let it thicken a little bit longer. Check those wedges out. Are those beautiful or what? I gave them a quick run under the broiler just for a second, just to color them up a bit. Little crispy corners and edges or everything. Okay, let's build our sloppy. We start with a bun, and it needs a little bit of a toast. So let's do that. Because we're outside and I don't have a broiler here, I will use my torch. So little color on the bottom, just a little. A little color on the bottom and the top. Now the sloppy. Now this super, oh, look how rich and gorgeous that is. Please, be still my heart. But wait, don't stop there. Because what we need is the first Borden of the day. And I'm using the pepper jack slices. It's a flavor sensation. Now, I don't want to cover up everything. I don't want to cover up all of the sloppy. So I'm going to make a little abbreviated version of this, like this. Sweet. And we torch. Holy pepper jack, Batman. Let's just set this guy like this and imagine this is your dinner. Now we come by with our wedges. Go one more right in there. The second of our Borden cheeses today, we're going with the Colby and Monterey Jack finely shredded cheese blend. Why am I yelling? Now a little heat here. Ah, goodness gracious me. We're off to a flying start. Come on, boys, take your pictures. I need a bite of this already. Okay, I'm gonna have a bite of this, but here, check this out first. Wedge cheese bowl. Oh, I love you. Love you. All right, this and this. Let's have bites. Gotta have paprika. You put cheese on your wedges because you should. If you're not doing it, so good. But here we go. The star of this first one, chorizo sloppy with the pepper jack. There is a richness to chorizo that I adore. And the pepper jack on top, the meltiness, it just sort of evens everything out. Wow, It's gonna be hard to stop eating this, but we must continue. Next up, we're doing a creamy cheddar broccoli rice bowls. Oh yeah, baby. With garlic flatbread strips on the side. We'll start with the rice because it takes longer. Not that that's very long. It's only, 12, 13 minutes. Little oil in the pot and then some rinsed basmati rice. I like to toast my rice before I add the liquid. It just makes it a little bit better. The nuttiness of the rice is enhanced when you do this. So we'll give this a minute or two and then add our liquid. We're not trying to get it brown. If you look close, there's just a tiny bit of color changing on these, but that's all. We don't want brown rice. Now we can add our liquid, and I'm going with noisy chicken broth because it's going to make for a way more interesting flavor. If you only had water, use water, but honestly, chicken broth is the way to go. Noisy chicken broth. It said that in the box, noisy chicken broth. All right, bring that to a simmer, and when it's there, lid on, we'll come back in 12 minutes and see how we've done. Next, the broccoli. That's broccoli florets, if it wasn't obvious, but we want to steam them. And the easiest way, take a little water, a couple tablespoons. That's about it. Cover it with some kind of cling film, saran-esque product. And this now goes in my microwave for probably 2 minutes is going to do it. And I'll be back. Here's one of my favorite things about steaming vegetables. Look what happens. It's like it's been vacuum sealed in some factory in Berlin. I don't know why I said Berlin, but watch. Now take this off. Little air goes in. There, beautiful. And if you look, see, still a little crisp tender. It's exactly what you want. Okay, these guys are done. They can just now sit and wait. Remember the rice? Of course you remember the rice. Oh, look at you, beautiful fluffy rice. Boy, is this gonna be good. All right, keep it warm. Now we deal with the creamy broccoli. We're starting by making a roux. We all understand that concept. Fat plus a starch, in our case will be flour, is gonna be a thickening agent for this delicious creamy cheddar broccoli business. Rice bowl, thank you. Butter's melted, throw a little garlic in. Fantastic. Hotter than I want, that's okay. Now a little flour. We're gonna be fine, ladies and gentlemen. Mix the flour till it's basically lump free. And now some milk. We stir well after each addition. Give that 2 minutes on a little simmer. Now it's time for board and cheese number 3. We're going with shredded cheddar. Oh, and we'll switch to a spoon. So add a little bit, stir, let it melt. Add a little bit, stir, let it melt. This is one easy, gorgeous little cheese sauce. So you, how thick do you want this? Anybody? Nice and thick?
Nice and thick.
There you go. Okay, a little more cheese then. By the way, Elsie the cow will not be mad. She wants her cheese used. Let's bring the broccoli back and introduce it. Hello, and stir. Oh my gosh, I'm jazzed about where this is going. But remember, every dish feeds 4 people and with a side. Every dish has a side, so let me just keep this warm and we'll make the side right now. All right, here's our side. We're making garlicky butter flatbread strips with a tortilla. Here's how this works. Garlic butter, and we paint. These guys nice and covered. You'll be glad you did. All the way to the edges. Now, of course, some board and cheese, and I'm going with the Colby Monterey Jack again. You can't inundate all the way across. Think mini pizza, but maybe better. I've had mini pizzas that weren't very good. We're gonna cut these into strips, and now put them on a baking sheet with a rack. My oven's at 4 1/4. I'll be back in about 7 minutes. All right, check that out. I hope that these little flatbread cheese deals do not upstage the broccoli cheddar rice bowl, but geez Louise. Come on, they're perfect. All right, let's get the rice bowl happening. And a bowl, followed up by some of our rice. Followed up by some of the, oh so delicious, cheesy broccoli business. And who doesn't like a little extra sauce on top? One more guy. And the only thing I want on top of this is fresh ground black pepper. And the only thing I want with it are a couple of these kids. Just like, oh, come on now. 4 people get this, under $15 with a little side. How could that be bad? Well, I'm telling you it can't be. And I will verify that with a bite. Well, I'd like to say you should join me in a bite, but that's not gonna work out. First this. Stop it. Now this. It smells fantastic. Anybody comes home from a long, hard day at work or school, or just sitting around on the couch and gets presented with one of these, you'll be the happiest kid on the planet. Next up, nacho average baked potato. Oh boy. 2 russets. They've been washed and dried. You don't want them wet, you want them dry. And now we're gonna do this. They're each gonna get just a little bit of oil, rubbed in well, and then we kosher salt them. Oh, I forgot, let's poke them. We poke them so they won't explode in the oven. They probably won't, but it's an old habit. Old habits die hard. Okay, these guys in my oven, 425, 55, 60 minutes. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a Sam the Cooking Guy 12-inch cast iron pan. That's a little neutral oil. And this is a pound of ground beef. In we go. We love that sound. Break it up, let it get a little color on the bottom. Give it 2 minutes. Then we'll start to mix it and add some seasoning and carry on. Mix time. Loving this, loving this. And just as the pink leaves the building, add 1 packet of taco seasoning. Mix it in. Your basic baked potato is a nice thing. Wait till you try this, kid. Now some salsa. And I happen to be using a chipotle salsa. Oh, it's splattered. Dang. And mix. Could this be any easier? No. And yes, I can answer my own questions. Oh, the smell. Oh, the smell. All right, this is basically done. Put this off to the side. Let's make a little salad. Because remember, everything has a side dish. All right, glass bowl. And the following goes in. Remember, recipe below. Kernel corn. This was frozen at one point. I defrosted it. Look how gorgeous it is. 1 can of drained black beans. It's the first time we're gonna see black beans today. They're coming up next. Diced tomato. It was 1 Roma tomato. And just the sides. I don't like all the wet, messy inside part. Couple more things, we're almost there. Chipotle chili powder, or regular chili powder, but honestly, I just keep this one because I think it's the best. Kosher salt and pepper, like 1 little shot of neutral oil, and lime juice. Oh boy, you are a sorry excuse for a lime, son. I rolled you in everything. Oh my goodness. You should be embarrassed. All right, let's mix. And last but not least, some chopped cilantro. Not just to brighten it up and make it colorful, make it flavorful. That's the point. This is gonna be amazing with our potatoes. All right, as soon as the potatoes are ready, we put everything together. I wanted to mention, what you see me make here may not be enough for 4 people, but the recipes below are certainly enough. Like for example, I only made 2 baked potatoes for this recipe. That's not gonna feed 4 people. Each person gets a whole baked potato. Everything comes out to under $15. Everything will make for 4 people if you follow the recipes below. So I wanna make sure, because I know somebody's sitting there going, all right, Sam, I hear what you're saying, but I'm not seeing enough for 4 people. Well, that's the reason, my friend. And there are our friends, looking beautiful. I'm gonna take them off because it'll be easier to deal with them off this, but then they're gonna go back on to finish in the oven. So we have 1 and 2. Here's what we do. We take a little knife, and we make our incision. There, and then there. And there, and then there. So now we take our inside and we go like this. Now we're going with the 4 cheese Mexican, and that will look like this. Say goodbye. They're going into a 350 oven until they're beautiful. Ready and go. Look at you. Mamma mia. Okay, let's try and get them off. Come on. Keep it together there, son. Beautiful. And your buddy, and just a little cilantro. And don't forget your salad. Come on. What a beautiful little side that is. That's a protein-packed dinner or lunch or breakfast. Breakfast would be ideal. You got protein, you got your starches, you got everything. That's the way to start off your day. You got vegetables, you got legumes. Okay, let's get a bite of this. You know how I struggle with bites. And a bite of this. Salad first. You never know the corn is frozen. Nice little kick from the chili powder and the lime. You know this? I want to hug myself. Hey man, that's nacho average baked potato. We have 1 more left. I'm sad, I'll be honest. It's been a great Borden day so far. 1 more left. I think it might be my favorite. Okay, let me get it and you'll see. Should probably tell you what we're making. We're making a deconstructed pork Mexican lasagna. That's the ground pork. And that's the sizzle we like. And it goes This doesn't take very long, as I think you can see. So let's throw in our onion at the same time and cook everything together. Tiny bit more oil. When the onion is soft and the pork is cooked, we move on. All right, you see all this liquid? Of course you do. I don't want that. I'm gonna pour that off. And you should too. Give me a sec. And we're back. Great stuff. That's what you want. Okay, little space in the middle, baby shot of oil, little shot of garlic. You know the drill. It starts to get fragrant. Stir it in. And while you're doing that, we can add some salt and pepper because we haven't seasoned it yet. And you know, I mean this in the nicest way possible, but pork is a blank canvas. It can be anything you want. We're gonna help it, but it definitely needed that seasoning. Two things to add. One is a can of enchilada sauce. Love it. Remember my promise for black beans? Well, they're back. Now everything gets mixed, and when it's all mixed in, we're gonna let it simmer for 5 minutes. Let the flavors build because we're building to something outstanding. Remember I said deconstructed? That part's coming. I love how just a handful of ingredients can make something so delicious. Okay, the lasagna part, because I said deconstructed, and I know you haven't seen any noodles yet, and I'm not starting with noodles now, but I am starting with corn tortillas. What, Sam, what are you doing with those? I'm gonna rip them up into little pieces like this and fling them in. And then the whole thing gets cheese. These pieces go in, they get mixed. One more step, then the oven. There's nothing gentle, nothing perfect about this. There's no right or wrong. You do what you need to do to just rip these guys up. In fact, if there's children around, let them do it. They gotta have some fun. Don't forget, they're all back at school now. And by the way, we got these are great back to school recipes. And when you're all ripped up and in, we do this. You really want to get the pieces as soaked into this bubbling deliciousness as you can. Everybody wants to be coated a little bit. It's gonna be one of the greatest lasagnas ever with a handful of ingredients. But the star of our show has yet to appear. We're coming, we're coming. When you're feeling good about your work, it's Borden time. And I'm coming back with the shredded 4-cheese Mexican because look what we're having. You could use mozzarella, but that would be commingling your international food groups and somebody might get upset. So when you got a nice shredded coverage here, my oven's on to 375. When you're happy with the cheese on top, goes into a 375 oven for about 15 minutes. In the meantime, we're gonna make our side dish. There you go. Some of you know what this is. This is my cabbage shredder, the magical cabbage shredder that does this. It slices, it dices. It calls you at 3 o'clock in the morning to tell you you're, all right, that's great. Look at how beautiful that is. It's like snow, angel hair snow cabbage. We only add a couple things. Some cilantro, because it goes, and we love it. Good pinch of salt and pepper, because it needs it. Remember that issue we had with that lime before? We're hoping this guy got the message and doesn't fail. Oh no, that's good. You're okay, you're all right, buddy. He was lucky. He was gonna face the lime firing squad if he didn't perform, and he performed. And a little olive oil, and we mix. This is meant to be cool, tangy, and refreshing alongside that lasagna, which by the way, should be ready. And okay. Look, the cheese on top before it went in the oven made it look pretty. This makes it look stunning. Crispy little pop-up edges, deconstructed. Look at this. Look at you, you handsome little devil. Time to try our last dish and side of the day. First, the slaw. Oh, the lime. You hear the crunch? This is 3 ingredients. It is so light, it is so fresh. It's the perfect accompaniment to something warm and comforting and lasagna. I know you wish you were able to do this. But you are, you just have to make it yourself. Oh my gosh. The tortillas, the deconstructedness of this is fantastic. The tortillas in there, fantastic. The cheese, crispy on top, outstanding. It's the perfect way to finish that whole dish off. But just let me say, thank you Borden for sponsoring today. I said it somewhere in the middle. These are perfect family back to school dishes. They're simple, they're easy. They're all under 15 bucks for 4 people. And they all have delicious Borden cheese in them.